collaborating with Riphah International University here in Islamabad, especially the Institute of Public Policy. We are honored that we are collaborating not only to discuss about this issue, but also find what are the stakeholders' stake in that, especially how they had been performing, how they had highlighted this issue of such human rights violations in the valley right now. So we have chosen media as an important factor. That how the role of media has highlighted the issue, what are the responsibilities of the media, and how that media in Pakistan and overall globally, since the scene has been changed, we are not only a print media, we are not only a electronic media, we are now into social media where your tweets shows your policy, and countries are tweeting, and of course on the Facebook and many other social media platforms. So this gives me a huge honor. I am joined by a panel of experts and opinion makers in not only Pakistan but they are also globally renowned. First of all, I would like to request my colleague Dr. Rashid Aftab, who is the director of the Riphah Institute of Public Policy, for his welcome remarks to all of you.
Assalamualaikum, very good afternoon. My name is Dr. Rashid Aftab. I am heading a faculty of public policy and governance in Riphah International University, where right now you are sitting. This is one of the campuses of Riphah International University. The university, if look into the journey of the university started some 15 years back under a trust of not-for-profit. We started from a medical school, and right now we have all kind of faculties like like a medical school, dentistry college, pharmacy college, rehabilitation sciences, faculty of computing sciences, faculty of basic sciences, faculty of media sciences, plus faculty of public policy and governance. We do have a campuses all over Pakistan, in Islamabad, Lahore. In Lahore we have a very, I think it is the first veterinary colleges we have established in Pakistan in the private sector as well. Plus we do have a medical college in Peshawar, as well as recently we have established campuses in Swat. We have international footprints. In Ras Al Khaimah, UAE, we have established a medical school over there, and soon we are working on a project to establish a faculty of management sciences in Mauritius as well. We have two teaching hospitals in Islamabad, which are attached to our medical college. Plus we have a dedicated campuses for female students as well in Islamabad. In Islamabad, we have 5 campuses. We are working to establish a full-fledged campus where all the campuses may be housed under a single campus. As far as faculty of public policy and governance concerned, in addition to our higher degree programs, which are research-based programs, MPhil, and we are looking forward to start the PhD as well, we also try to act as a think tank on various national policies. In the last 5 years, since I am the founding director of this faculty of public policies, we have focused a number of social and socio-economic and political issues which are quite relevant in context with not only with Pakistan, but since Pakistan is one of the member of UN system, so and we are the signatories of Sustainable Development Goals as well as the Paris Accord 2015. So it is an obligation on the part of Pakistan to comply with those goals as well as the climate change agenda of Paris Accord. Within 5 years we have conducted and we organized 5 international water conferences on and focusing the water sector, since we consider the water security is much relevant with the food security, energy security, and water security by itself. Plus we have also worked on the urban policies, plus conducted I think hundreds of policy dialogues on various political issues, the balance between military and civil imbalance, and other challenges which exist in Pakistan, political turmoils, economic challenges, and other aspects as well. as far as today's session is concerned, I am thankful to Peace and Diplomatic Studies Center who extended their cooperation and so that the seminars may be conducted. And obviously the topic of the seminar seems to be the roles and responsibilities of media in Kashmir dispute. But I think it is not only the Kashmir issue, but it is all the role of media has to be highlighted in context with any of the conflict zones which exist all over the world, in which Kashmir is one of the area which is quite vulnerable. So the present situation of media in Pakistan is quite, I think, it's quite challenging. Still, the media is not sensitized on such issues which are of typical, quite relevant, in particularly if you consider the media and correlate that media in the development process. So that's why it so happened that the real issues are not being highlighted through a strong media narrative. And obviously when I say the media, it means all types of a media. So there is an urgent need and very much requirement that the media must play its due role. It's the role which has by default the role of the media has to be there, that it must report, it must prepare evidence-based narrative which must be highlighted through the various stakeholders. And I hope today's deliberation will assist us in developing a policy perspective in context with the media and the role of the media in the conflict zones and how it can reshape its strategy so that the approach has to be evidence-based and a scientific approach instead of a perception-based approach. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab. I'm joined by, and we are fortunate enough that today we are joined by Senator Faisal Javed sir, who is today, we asked him as a chief guest, who is the chairman of the National Senate Standing Committee on Information and Broadcasting. Thank you so much, Faisal sir, for joining us. Institute of Peace and Diplomatic Studies has continuously organizing these kind of deliberations and dialogues on the issues which are important at the national level, and so that you can not only deliberate, but you can also devise action-oriented policies and inculcate in the stakeholders' issues. I would like to request Dr. Sadia Kamal, who is the Senior Vice President of the National Press Club, an Iron lady who has been working tirelessly in the media sector. She has recently completed her PhD in one of the vernacular language, Punjabi language, but today she will be yes. I'm honored that she has joined us today as the panel. We're talking about the role of media and responsibility. Dr. Sadia.
Thank you, Farah. Assalamualaikum, dear all students, participants, and Senator Faisal Javed. And thanks for inviting me, Institute of Peace and Diplomatic Studies. Talk on role and responsibility of media in the vital Kashmir dispute. Kashmir issue, being the longest conflict in South Asia, has recently gained well-deserved global recognition with Pakistan's victory on diplomatic front, along with successful protests gathering outside every Indian embassy across the world, including London and Brussels. Pakistani mainstream media, including newspapers and TV channels, has played and has been playing important role in highlighting the Indian brutalities being committed against the innocent Kashmiri men, women and children by locking down the whole occupied Kashmir. Now, media role is to positively strengthen the relationship between Kashmiris and Pakistan, as Kashmir has to be primary focus of Pakistani media. Pakistani media has been promoting the narrative that Kashmir issue is not a bilateral issue between the two countries. Basically, it's a question of fundamental rights of Kashmiri people who are under the siege of Indian forces. Pakistani media is the voice for hundreds of thousands of orphans, young widows, and innocent civilians facing brutalities. Pakistani media has took over the responsibility to project Kashmiri issue at regional and international levels. Yes, there is a dire need to have insightful discussion on various challenges and opportunities with regard to media, and Kashmir expressing complete solidarity with the people of Kashmir while lauding the sacrifices rendered by Kashmiri nation. The right to self-determination is Kashmiri fundamental rights, and the media should play its role more forcefully to address the international community for its much-needed goal to settle the long-running dispute to ensure durable peace in the region. Media organizations have also been playing their role to highlight the violation of human rights in occupied Kashmir. National Press Club, Islamabad held an event to express solidarity with the people of Kashmir, especially solidarity with the children of Kashmir. In the event, the children sang Kashmiri song including Kashmir anthem. Mushaira was also held wherein poets recited their poetry on Kashmir. Kashmiri leader Vishal Malik was chief guest at the event. Member of Union, Pakistan Federal Union of Journalists and RIUJ, Rawalpindi, Islamabad Union of Journalists, with collaboration of National Press Club, took a torch-bearer rally from Press Club to D Chowk, which was also led by Vishal Malik. After 5 August, a number of seminars, conferences, protests, and demonstrations were held and being held to show solidarity with the Kashmir people. I also participate in many programs in Radio Pakistan, PTV, and other private channels. It is also laudable that Pakistan use of social media, smart diplomatic initiatives, and protest gathering from government and civil society has launched a successful quest to negate Indian propaganda on the issue. After recent misadventure of Indian government of revoking the constitutional provision that give Indian occupied Kashmir special rights, social media users from Pakistan, especially government officials including Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan, took it to the Twitter to condemn Indian atrocities and to show immense support to Kashmir. Prime Minister has not stopped talking about the issue on his personal Twitter account, along with calling various world leaders including Iranian President and Indonesian Prime Minister to seek their support on the dispute. Director General ISPR has also been updating the world about military stance on the dispute territory through official Twitter account. The solidarity movement with Kashmir was augmented with an effective social media campaign on hashtags such as Kashmir Banega Pakistan and 15 August Black Day. Various other hashtags like Red for Kashmir, Bleed for Kashmir, Stand with Kashmir, and Beauty Killing Kashmiris. Kashmir under threat have also been trending on top on different social media sites. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sadia. Since Senator Faisal has given us his precious time, he's also had to leave early, so I would like to request Faisal Saab for your kind remarks on the occasion and how, especially when you are heading a Senate Standing Committee on Information, how has the role and responsibility of media has changed, or how successfully we have been able to highlight Kashmiri issues. So,
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. Thank you very much for inviting me. Well, I'll be very quick in terms of highlighting how media can effectively play a role in highlighting this issue, which is a cause. Kashmir is a cause, and to be very honest with you, so far Pakistani media has played a very critical role, a very good role in fact. All our private channels and our state television, they have done a tremendous job. They have these special transmissions, special packages highlighting this cause all the time. But the problem is that Pakistan's outreach globally is not at that level where we should have been. We did not work on this at all. Being a media person, I can feel that when you are abroad, you will not see any Pakistani channel. And even if you get to see, you will not understand that language. Even if you get to see our only English channel, you will still not get to learn, get to know what they're talking about. So we need to fix that. A, we need to fix our English channel. B, we need to have special packages in English so that the message is sent across effectively and it is understood by the people who are watching it. So this is one area we really need to work. ہمارے اردو کی ٹرانسلیشن تو ہر جگہ پہنچتی ہے لیکن ہمیں اس کو انہی چینلز کو ضرورت اس عمل کی ہے کہ کچھ پیکیجز بیچ میں انگریزی زبان میں ہونے چاہیے. ہمارے بہت سے چینلز ہیں جو کہ یو کے میں بھی دیکھے جاتے ہیں, جو کہ امریکہ میں بھی دیکھے جاتے ہیں, یورپ کی کچھ اور کنٹریز میں بھی دیکھے جاتے ہیں. آہستہ آہستہ ان کی ڈسٹریبیوشن پہ میں امپرومنٹ آ رہی ہے, لیکن بہرحال ہمارے چینلز آئی کین ایزیلی ٹیل کہ 90% آف انٹرنیشنل جو ہماری ہوٹلز ہیں ان میں نہیں آتے. ہمارے چینلز کی ڈسٹریبیوشن اس لیول کی نہیں ہے جس کی باقی دنیا نے جس طرح سے پینیٹریٹ کیا ہے انٹرنیشنل میڈیا پہ. ہم لوکلی تو بہت ہمارا میڈیا جو ہے پچھلے کچھ برسوں میں بہت ہی زیادہ آگے آ گیا ہے اور بہت اچھا کام بھی کر رہا ہے, لیکن جب انٹرنیشنل فرنٹ کی بات ہوتی ہے تو ہمارا ایک چینل ایسا نہیں ہے جو کہ انگلش میں ہو اور جو کہ دنیا جسے سمجھے اور دیکھے. اس کے لیے پرائم منسٹر عمران خان نے ابھی ریسنٹلی جو میٹنگ ہوئی ان کی ٹرکش پریزیڈنٹ طیب اردوغان صاحب سے اور ملیشین پریزیڈنٹ مہاتیر محمد صاحب سے, اس میں تینوں نے یہ ڈیسائیڈ کیا ہے کہ ایک انٹرنیشنل انگلش چینل BBC ٹائپ لایا جائے گا جو کہ فائٹ کرے گا اسلاموفوبیا کو اور کشمیر کاز کو بھی فردر ہائی لائٹ کرے گا. اس چینل پہ کام ہو رہا ہے اور یہ ایک وائڈ پاکستان کا ایک گلوبل چینل ابھی آنے والا ہے. اس کے علاوہ ہم نے ڈیجیٹل کے اوپر بہت کام ہم کر سکتے ہیں جو بہت اچھا کر بھی ہے, افیکٹولی ہم کر رہے ہیں. پرائم منسٹر عمران خان کا جو ٹویٹر ہے وہ دنیا کے اب چھٹے بڑے لیڈر بن گئے ہیں فالوئنگ میں, تو ایک بہت بڑا پلیٹ فارم ہے جس سے میسیجنگ ہوتی ہے اور دنیا کو پتہ چلتا ہے. جس طرح سے پرائم منسٹر عمران خان نے کشمیر کاز کو ہائی لائٹ کیا ہے, 70 سال کی تاریخ میں اس قدر کشمیر کا مسئلہ انٹرنیشنلائز اس سے پہلے کبھی بھی نہیں ہوا تھا. چاہے وہ UN ہو, چاہے وہ یونائٹڈ کونسل کی جو ہیومن رائٹس باڈی ہے, وہاں پہ کہا جاتا ہے کہ جی ووٹ نہیں ملے, ووٹنگ تو ہوتی نہیں ہے وہاں پہ. وہاں پہ جوائنٹ اسٹیٹمنٹ آتا ہے جو 50 سے زیادہ ممالک کی طرف سے آیا, جس میں ممبرز بھی تھے اور نان ممبرز بھی تھے, وہ 50 کنٹریز, اور انہوں نے کرفیو ہٹانے کی بات کی, انڈیا کے اوپر پریشر ڈالا, وہ بھی بہت بڑی کامیابی ہے. پھر انٹر پارلیمنٹری یونین IPU جس میں 40 سے زیادہ ممالک تھے پیراگوئے میں, وہاں پر ہماری جو پاکستان کی کشمیر کی اوپر اسٹیٹمنٹ تھی اس کے بعد 1 منٹ کی سالیڈیرٹی, انہوں نے 1 منٹ کے لیے خاموشی اختیار کی اور سب کھڑے ہوئے کشمیر کے لیے سالیڈیرٹی شو کرنے میں. دے آر اباؤٹ مور دین 40 کنٹریز. تو کوئی بھی آپ پلیٹ فارم لیں, گورنمنٹ جو ہے اس کو ہائی لائٹ کر رہی ہے, اور اس بیچ میڈیا کا رول بہت زیادہ امپورٹنٹ ہوتا ہے. اگین ہیونگ سیڈ دیٹ, ہمیں جو انٹرنیشنل میڈیا نے پرائم منسٹر عمران خان کی جو اسپیچ تھی UN میں, ایک ہسٹورک اسپیچ تھی, اس کے بعد انٹرنیشنل میڈیا نے اس کو بہت زیادہ ہائی لائٹ کیا, اور آنے والے دنوں میں یہ مزید ہر آئے دن میں بڑھ رہا ہے. اس کو مزید سے مزید کشمیر کاز کو جو ہے وہ ہائی لائٹ کیا جا رہا ہے, اس کے اوپر آرٹیکلس چھپ رہے ہیں, انٹرنیشنل میڈیا میں بات ہو رہی ہے. لیکن کیونکہ میں اسپیسیفک رہوں گا اس کانٹیکسٹ میں اور اس ہمارے پاکستانی میڈیا کے حوالے سے کہ ہم کیا کیا کر سکتے ہیں. نمبر 1, ہمیں جو ٹارگیٹ آڈینس ہے اس کو سمجھنا ہے. कि उस टारगेट ऑडियंस को उर्दू नहीं आती है। हमें ये समझना है कि हम आपस में कश्मीर की बात करके इसको ये नहीं कह सकते कि हमने हाईलाइट किया। जब तक हम जो हमारी टारगेट ऑडियंस है जिनको समझाना है उनकी ज़ुबान में बात नहीं करेंगे, ये यूनिवर्सल ज़ुबान में बात नहीं करेंगे, उनको समझ नहीं आएगी। तो okay, so I should be talking in English. All right. So I was saying that we need to go with universal language in terms of communicating a message. This is the number one thing that media has to do. They are already doing a tremendous job, but that is in our local language. So the moment we go global, and you can't really go 24/7 for that. You can have small packages in terms of translating your message in English, so that you need to know who you're talking to. You need to know your target audience. So then the message will be more effective in terms of delivery. And this is number one. Number two, media has to, private media and particularly our state media, PTV, Pakistan Television. I don't know when will they wake up, but the moment they wake up, the first thing they have to do is they have to work upon their distribution network. From distribution network, they have to have the presence of their PTV English, it is PTV Global or PTV World. They have to have this channel's presence everywhere. It is not available except for Pakistan. If you go outside Pakistan, you keep on searching for it, and you will come across all other channels except for our PTV English. So this is one area where they need to work, improve their distribution network, and we are already working on that, so you get to hear good news on that. Number three, use of digital media. You see that there's more viewership on YouTube, and it's with the mobile penetration across the world, you have your choice to watch whatever you want to watch. So these little clips, they do really help, and we at times really take this thing for granted, but I tell you what, this is if it is used effectively, it can get you a great results in terms of highlighting Kashmir issue. So digital media is very important. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all important tools. Other Instagram and all other tools are important, and every tool has its own way of using it effectively. So I think our digital experts can talk about it, but I think this is one area where all our private channels and our state channels should focus to highlight to enhance their digital presence. They are already doing great on digital. Some of our private channels are doing tremendous job on their digital channels. They have huge subscription base and everything. But the problem is that again, the language is something that we really need to work upon. Good to see a private channel doing a good job, and day by day it's improving. There's a new private channel, English channel, which is doing a great job. And number four, word of mouth. Whenever I go abroad, I meet overseas Pakistani, a huge diaspora, progressive, talented, educated, and I tell them one thing, that you go to your work in your offices, you get to meet your friends here. This word of mouth is the biggest tool of marketing for highlighting any issue. So whenever you are in your office, you're talking to your peers, your get-togethers here and there, you need to highlight Kashmir issue. So the message is delivered more effectively. There's a human touch to it, and then there's a trust factor as well, and that's number Pakistani diaspora abroad, because the way they have sort of raised this issue, not only now, they've been doing it before as well, but this year, post Prime Minister Imran Khan's initiative, when he announced himself as an ambassador of Kashmir, He not only emerged as a great ambassador of Kashmir, but also emerged as an ambassador of Islam. His UN General Assembly speech is a great evidence how he, for the first time ever in Pakistan's history, a leader comes up and highlights these things the way he did. We've never ever witnessed that before, and it has a huge impact as well at the same time. So these are just a few thoughts. I was very technical, and I have to be technical because we talk, we do speeches, we write articles, we do everything. But when it comes to practical approach, we need to know what we need to do technically. So I think this is what I wanted to share, that these are a few areas where Pakistan really has to go aggressive and get the job done. And with Prime Minister Imran Khan emerging as a true ambassador of Islam and Kashmir, recently, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, he was given the title of Man of the Year, and from I think one of the institutes of Jordan. So I think this really is a huge achievement for all of us Pakistan. It's an honor for us, and the world is recognizing his contributions. You see, Pakistan, the moment people living outside Pakistan, when they get to hear about Pakistan, they would think about what? What are the top three things they would think about? Anybody can tell me? Anybody hearing about Pakistan, the first three things, what are those three things that would come in his or her mind?
When a foreigner would think about Pakistan?
Yeah.
Terrorism.
Yes.
Cricket.
But yes, my point is, as you mentioned, so Pakistan is the biggest contributor for peace, not only for Pakistan's peace, for the global peace. Pakistan went in a war which was not Pakistan's war. No Pakistani was involved in 9/11. Pakistan went into a war. Pakistan sacrificed over 70,000 lives. Pakistan spent over $123 billion for what? For world's peace. So Pakistan contributed a lot for peace. So Pakistan's image outside Pakistan is not the reality. So what we need to do is, and government is already working on it with Prime Minister Imran Khan, we have this huge benefit in Imran Khan because he has this credibility and the trust factor which really helps, and the world not only listens to him but also trusts him and agrees with him. So we have this huge advantage in him. So we are already working on that, but what we need to show to the world is not the positive image of Pakistan, the real image of Pakistan, which is positive. So we are working on that as well. So media has to play an effective role in terms of highlighting Kashmir cause and taking the real message across. So we have to use right tools. And I tell you what, we have this, Pakistan's total population, out of total population, 70% of Pakistanis are below the age of 35 years old. So this youth can do wonders, and our students, they can contribute a lot with their pen, with their writings, with their speaking, and with their brain, because in technology we have exported, in fact, a great talent across the world. We're working here and there, and they are the true ambassadors of Pakistan, so they can also contribute and help Pakistani media in terms of highlighting Kashmir cause. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Faisal. I must say that through young people, you are representative of almost the young people of 70% of Pakistan. Since Faisal Sahab has to leave, I would like to request, before I ask my panelists, I'm apologizing for that, but I would like to request everyone to come on and have a group photo with Faisal Javed so that we can proceed further after he leaves.